The government's wage subsidy bill has now topped $12 billion, with Wilson Parking among the companies to receive more money through the latest round of payments. Wilson's latest claim is for more than $1 million, prompting questions about which companies the scheme is propping up as the government moves towards a carbon-friendly economy. Nita Blake-Persen reports.
With central business districts transformed into ghost towns during lockdown, the need for inner-city parking also tanked. Wilson Parking responded with these ads.
Keep your bubble safe. Skip crowded public transport. Driving to the office keeps your exposure down. And Wilson Parking wants to make this even easier, with convenient, safe car parks everywhere and flexible products to meet your needs. With low petrol prices, reduced traffic and up to 50% off monthly rates. It's cheaper than you think.
Business appears to still be struggling for Wilson Parking. They've claimed 2 rounds of wage subsidies and another $1 million covering 218 jobs in the extension. That's prompted questions from Greater Wellington Regional Councillor Thomas Nash about whether the government support needs to be more focused on a green economy.
I thought the ads from Wilson were irresponsible, and I thought they gave an untrue impression of what public transport was like. It was definitely not crowded during the pandemic. The opposite was true. My concern is how we as a country and how this government is using the recovery and the billions and billions and billions of dollars that are being spent in this recovery to drive us towards a climate-safe future. And I think it's reasonable to ask some questions about whether handing out money, no questions asked, to companies that are undermining public transport is a good thing to do or not.
The ads are no longer running, and in a statement, Wilson Parking said they had been simply promoting driving as an alternative and safe way to commute. It's rejected any accusation that it said public transport was unsafe and said it was still experiencing a decline of revenue of more than 40%. And Wilson Parking aren't alone in doing it tough. Latest government figures show $1.2 billion has been paid out through the wage subsidy extension in just the past 10 days. It brings the total bill to $12.3 billion, covering 1.7 million jobs. But Infometrics senior economist Brad Olsen says things aren't looking as bad as previously feared.
We have seen that wage subsidy that has kept many more people in work than we might have expected at the start of this pandemic and this economic slowdown. So some cautious optimism in the economy at the moment.
However, with about 100 people a day going on the job seeker benefit over the past week, he says we're not out of the woods yet.
Over 200,000 Kiwis are now accessing some sort of unemployment benefit from the government. Of course, 56,000 of those coming through in the last few months due to COVID-19. At the same time, we've got nearly 300,000 workers who are now covered by the wage subsidy extension. So it points to a very, very tough time ahead still for businesses.
Businesses are continuing to pay back money from the wage subsidy scheme. There have been more than 1,100 refunds made over the past week, with the total value of refunds now more than $200 million. For Checkpoint, Nita Blake-Persen, TNA.